I hope it's gonna be fine for you too. Let's just change the names over here so it's a little bit easier to, you know, read. There we are. And it's going to be Franks versus JOADN for game number 1 on Arabia. Stable's already on the way for JorDan, while Sebastian on the other hand is going for an Archer range. This is not the first time today that we see Franks going for an Archer opening, but it's not necessarily what you're expecting to see. So if he's playing mind games over here, it could potentially work out pretty well if he goes for a few Spearmen in addition to the Archers, of course. So as long as he can defend the Archers he's going for, he's probably going to be fine. We'll keep an eye on both players, of course. And the walls are coming up already for JorDan, so... Oh, interesting. He's actually... Okay, he's decided to go for the wall towards the TC. Something like this would definitely have been really, really good for JorDan. But it was going to be significantly harder to defend, especially this section over here. When the villagers are so far away, could potentially have gotten breached. So this is a little bit easier to defend, but that also means that he's not going to have quite as much surface area, space to work with, or safe resources, right? Although even if he had gone for the walls to the right hand side and towards the edge of the map, he only would have secured this gold, but no wood lines. So the woods are still going to be exposed, and this is something that Sebastian could take advantage of. And with these archers already out, if he can get fletching, and he already has fletching, should be able to push the villagers away from the wood. So it's definitely an opportunity, so to say, for Sebastian. We'll see if he can take advantage of it. If he can end up pushing JorDan away from both these woodlands, that's going to be huge. Plus, I think JorDan's open up in the north, isn't he? No, it's not. There's just a one tree over there connected to the edge of the map. Okay. So here come the archers. Here come the spearmen from Sebastian. You know what, JorDan's got the scouts moving forward. He's got about half HP left on these as a group. So the HP pool is not the best. Let me take a look. If Sebastian reacts over here in a timely manner, he would have been able to take on the scouts and get one down for sure. But JorDan's actually unable to target anyone because the villagers are clumped up. They're always in groups. So he's just trying to find... I guess he was probably just trying to go straight through and see if he could find any stray villagers, but it's not going to be the case. So yeah, Sebastian keeps on roaming around. Probably would have liked for him once again to just try and deny the resources here. Probably force a tower, perhaps. But he's not gone for it. Oh! Here comes JorDan, though. He's bringing 2 additional scouts, and that's gonna be the first villager going down in the game. I'm not really sure exactly what it is that he tried to do over there, but he ended up donating a pretty large chunk of his scout's HP to the archers and the spearmen over there. So he's going back. I don't know if he... Yeah, he probably should have used a split formation. Regardless, it's a pretty action-packed start, or at the very least. Well, maybe not so action-packed, but we have some aggression coming out from both players, and this is really good for Sebastian. He gets both those scouts, while JorDan is going to be left on only 1 scout, and Sebastian has been spending a lot of extra resources into military, so while he does have a stronger army, and a larger army at that, JorDan's going to be the first player to click out to the castle age by quite a bit, which means he's going to have a substantial head start to the castle age and a substantial head start to night production. What do we see from JorDan? He goes for a defensive tower to defend the gold miners over here, but that still means that the lumberjacks are still exposed up in the north and down in the south. So Sebastian could try and take advantage of that, but he's not going to deny resource over here only. Especially because there are some defensive skirmishes over here from JorDan. Instead, Sebastian's going to try to roam around and breach through the walls. I don't think he'll be able to, given that field age units are going to take a while to breach through even palisade walls. JorDan should have enough time to reinforce the walls if necessary, so yeah. 1 second. I had to increase the desktop sound by quite a bit for the interview because I couldn't hear anything. Another game was too loud. Anyway, Castle Age is on the way for Sebastian, but he's significantly behind, a minute and 28 seconds or so of a head start to it for JorDan. And he's got the second stable coming up, plus the first stable is going to stay up as long as he's got the skirmishers and the archers to defend himself with. So the only thing that Sebastian can potentially do over here is try and push the villagers away from the wool lines, and that's about it. And he's not even doing that, so yeah, JorDan's fine. He's absolutely fine. There we go. Bloodland's about to finish researching for JorDan. He should be able to start queuing knights right away. Would have been better, of course, for him to go for Bloodlands a little bit sooner, so he would have been able to start going for 2 knights at the same time, but it is what it is. Second TC, that's an interesting location for the TC, I'll tell you that much. If he's not going to go for any range units anymore, which I don't think he's going to, Teutons are pretty similar to Franks in terms of range, they are not the best. He could potentially even delete the archer range eventually if he wants to surround the TC with farms, but for now he's just going for knights. He's got 3 out, and Sebastian is 10 seconds away from the Castle Age. There's already some nice momentum, a head start over here. Here we are. There we go. Here comes JorDan. Gonna do anything with the archers. Still trying to breach through with knights. And the wolves from Sebastian came in just in time, so he's going to be protected. While still having a stronger military count over here. JorDan, on the other hand, does have a higher worker count. However, there is a second TC coming up for Sebastian over here, so it doesn't seem like JorDan will be pulling too much farther ahead in villager count. And as long as both players keep production going from both TCs, it's going to remain at the same villager lead for JorDan. So whatever villager lead he manages to get up until Sebastian gets the second TC up, should remain more or less constant. Sebastian did go for wheelbarrow though, while JorDan hasn't gone for it, so we can probably reduce, in theory, the villager lead over here from JorDan, so to say, from 6 villagers to only 3 villagers worth of extra economy, right? Meanwhile, up in the north, there is a 30C coming out, so maybe JorDan will be able to start pulling ahead in villager count once again. Even further, of course. Good defense. With a defensive Magnell. Yeah, Sebastian cannot do too much of anything right now. It's kind of a weird position because he's only on 2 TCs. And he's going for some economy, but JorDan's going to go for a much stronger economy approach. And yet, Sebastian's stronger military count over here is not really achieving much of anything. He's been unable to breach through. He's been unable to do much of anything. Still. Nice shot. There we go. Here comes Sebastian. Once again. In hopes of getting something done with this military. Unfortunately, you can see that he doesn't really know what to go for over here. Doesn't really know where to go to. There's a 30C coming up, and unfortunately, Sebastian is kind of playing catch up over here. While JorDan, well, JorDan's been getting ahead. Even if he's behind the military count by 17 units, his economy is so much stronger that it's not really going to be too much of an issue. Once he starts making a transition into military production, he should find himself in a much better position, of course. Teutons will also be extremely strong in the later stages of the game. both these civilizations scale quite nicely as France get extra HP, for instance, on his Knight units and on all his cavalry units, actually, starting from the Feudal Age. They get the highest HP Cavalier and Paladin in the game. However, JorDan is going to have extra melee armor on his cavalry units, on his stable and barracks units in the castle and Imperial Age, so it's going to be 2 extra melee armor in the Imperial Age, which is going to make the Knights so strong. And yeah, even infantry is going to be pretty strong for Teutons as well, so in this particular matchup, I think either player can take the game. I don't think it's necessarily going to be a safe win over here, but I'm probably preferring Teutons a little bit. Let's see, the conversions are coming in. They're not connecting though! What is that RNG? That's gonna be so frustrating for Sebastian. And here comes JorDan. He's going for the conversion himself, and he pushes Sebastian away. You know, Sebastian's got more knights compared to JorDan, and better upgrades. He's got forging, while JorDan doesn't really have forging. But one conversion over here can potentially change the game. Obviously, JorDan's going to have 1 extra armor, despite the fact that both players get the same armor upgrades. That's just going to be the nature of Teutons with the extra melee armor, so it's looking very, very close over here. We'll take a look at the military count and the HP pool, and it's looking better for JorDan, yeah. Plus, he doesn't manage, Sebastian does not manage to get a conversion over here, so that's going to be yet another monk going down. While JorDan ends up kind of equalizing the military count over here, without having had to invest so much more into military compared to Sebastian. So it's been pretty good. Military count, of course. Kinda close, kinda the same. Villager count, worker count, much higher for JorDan. 14 extra vills. Oh, market's coming out. Did he not have a market before? Alright. So market's coming out. JorDan's probably gonna try to... I don't know if he will be able to go up to the Imperial Age. Maybe if he sold all the stone and maybe all the wood, he might be able to click up. He's got the buildings already. And he's got a pretty decent villager count, so it's not like he will be rushing it necessarily, but he will be kind of tanking his economy if he wanted to sell the stone, and that wouldn't be good given that you definitely want to have a castle by the time you get to the Imperial Age. So right now we see a 4 castle coming up for Sebastian instead. Well, JorDan was going for the 4 TC on the right hand side. Here we are. Sebastian's pushing JorDan away, and the castle's coming up over here for sure. Well, it would be possible for JorDan to buy himself a castle to react to this. It's not necessary. He can leave the wood lane over here, and he's gonna be fine. He's got plenty of extra wood on the back. There is nothing that this castle is going to deny that JorDan is relying on. So he's fine. All that JorDan's gotta do right now is try and play for the Imperial Age, just get there faster, get a castle lab before he gets to the Imperial Age, and then he can start going for trebuchets and taking this down. So we'll see what we get. Beautiful. JorDan's going for a counter-attack by the looks of it. Yeah, I don't know about that. He's got almost enough resources to click out to the Imperial Age. Utilizing the market allows him to balance his economy in such a way that he can go up significantly faster. Plus, he's got a castle already on the way, so this is what I was expecting to see from JorDan. Now, he is going for the counter-strike. How many knights do we have? He's got 20 knights! Sebastian, he's got significantly more, so this is not really an engagement that JorDan's gonna want to take. He will end up still taking a few villagers over here though, so the villager lead is going to extend for JorDan. And Sebastian doesn't seem to be doing a really good job defending himself at all. All the knights are chasing one group of knights, meanwhile JorDan is taking on a bunch of villagers over here, and Yeah, I think he might actually end up denying the TC. He's got still 2 knights over here, kind of uncontested, and getting the villagers down. This is really rough for Sebastian, rather. Well, up in the north, we have pikemen coming out from JorDan, which is great. Yeah, and the TC gets denied, or delayed, rather. It's getting delayed for the time being. Meanwhile, up in the north, we'll see a second castle coming out for Sebastian. In JorDan, he just gotta get this one up before he gets to the Imperial Age, and that's going to be all that he needs. Once he starts pumping trebuchets, first off, he's got the hill advantage over here, so this castle shouldn't take too long to go down. And then he can start going for the castle on the right-hand side, which is getting denied right now, or at the very least delayed for the time being. There's a 50C on the way for Sebastian, but yeah, JorDan is significantly ahead on 27 extra villagers currently. There we go. Beautiful. This castle from JorDan is coming up, I think, a little bit earlier compared to the castle from Sebastian. He's got just more villagers building this, so he's got into the Imperial Age. We're gonna see the first trap coming up over here. He's got 2 traps queued up. And if he doesn't have the resources, he can just cancel this one and go for another one from here, so he can go for both at the same time. He's just not doing it though. But it's still fine. He'll still be the only player with access to trebuchets, as Sebastian is not on his way to the Imperial Age whatsoever. One thing that Sebastian's got going for him though is a much higher military count. He's got 22 knights plus a bunch of throwing axemen coming out right now, but throwing axemen are not going to be possible for him to keep on going for anymore. Guess it's going down on the left hand side. The Cat's Foundation on the right hand side got the knight. Yeah, and you know, once JorDan gets plate Bardin armor, sorry, and he goes for Cavalier. Honestly, with plate Bardin armor, honestly, he doesn't even need plate Bardin armor. With 2 turns, he's getting already 2 extra melee armor, so if he just starts going for knights right now, given that he's got a much stronger economy and he manages to catch Sebastian in military count, catch up to Sebastian's military count, JorDan's already going to be in a much better position. He's taking his sweet time to go for anything though. He's got Bakinara on the way. Except the castles are more effective against knights and throwing axemen. He's still going very heavily into pikemen. And in this situation, the extra melee armor from the pikemen is actually coming in quite clutch, because the throwing axemen otherwise will be just shredding the pikemen down. So, yeah, the trebuchet gets sniped over there, but it's fine. JorDan's going for more. He's got another one over here as well, so he'll be okay. Yeah, and this castle will go down for sure. Sebastian ends up deleting the castle foundation on the right-hand side, getting almost no resources back. Or not too many anyway. And he's trying to save up enough resources to go up to the Imperial Age. Meanwhile, JorDan is getting finally another trebuchet out over here, so he's gonna be taking this one down with 2 traps. And doesn't seem like Sebastian will be able to do too much about this at all. Can try to repair the castle and keep it up, but it's just going to be possible for him to do it for a short while. Otherwise, it's just going to be a very expensive endeavor. Yeah, Ring Archer Armor, he's going for Hand Cannoneer right now, which I guess makes sense against the throwing axemen. It's not really going to be the best against knights, but he will have much stronger cavalry once he gets... Like, full stop, he gets much stronger cavalry as is, but once he gets plate Bardin armor, that should also be the case. Yeah, the throwing axemen are just... sorry, the Hand Cannoneer are just against the throwing axemen. He's probably expecting Sebastian to be in a much higher amount of TA than he actually is. There's only 1 castle coming out for Sebastian over here. That's going to be the only castle he's going to have left. Should the cavalry be good against both knights and axemen? Yeah, it should. As is, with the extra 2 melee armor it should absolutely obliterate both knights and throwing axemen. I am not really sure why JorDan's not going for it. I think he probably expects there to be a lot more throwing axemen than there actually are. That's the only guess that I have. Halberdier, hand cannon, bombard cannon is in composition for both civilizations. Well, I guess it makes sense. He's had a head start in production though, so in any case, Sebastian ends up going for the same. This is going to give JorDan an immediate head start. Or actually, an upper hand, so to say. Yeah, we see Sebastian going for cavalry. There are Halberdier already coming out for JorDan, so he's playing this for his optimal army composition. This is very similar to what we see for well, Hindustanis, I guess. What they used to be Indians. I remember Indians would go for that hand cannoneer, halberdier, and bombard cannons also whenever playing the ultimate army composition, such as playing an arena, for instance. Kind of makes sense that both JorDan and Sebastian are going to go for the same given the civilizations. So it was mostly about getting a head start, I imagine, then for JorDan. He's getting the 200 population already in Sebastian. Going for Cavalier right now seems kind of disingenuous, given the fact that we already have Halberdier over here for JorDan, so... See! Nice push. With 3 trebuchets, I think 2 of these have the hill advantage against the castle as well. This should be going down very soon. Oh! JorDan's going for thalassocracy. Oh my god, that is the Malay, sorry, crenellations. That is the Malay upgrade. The crenellations, so that's going to give the castle extra range. Nice. Let's get it. And here come the Cavalier. Throwing Axeman, Cavalier against Halberdier and a hand cannoneer. Let's see who comes out on top over here. Sebastian is kind of crumbling in military count. However, he still manages to get past the Halberdier. He's going to go after the hand cannoneer right now. A little bit of struggle over here. The throwing Axemen are certainly doing damage, and the Cavalier are certainly getting a very good amount of damage done against the hand cannoneer. But ultimately, JorDan's army composition, yeah, it's proven to be stronger over here. Mainly the amount of hand cannoneers coming in clutch. Because of the very slow attack rate of these units, numbers are going to be instrumental so that he can at the very least one shot, or take more than one Cavalier down per shot over here, per volley, so to say. And yeah, with the Cavalier down, these hand cannoneer are just going to chew through the throwing Axemen, and JorDan's coming out on top by quite a bit. Close to 3 times the military count. Meanwhile, Sebastian's gonna keep on trying to make the Cavalier play work, but JorDan is already one step ahead. Where are the talks? He could have gone for the harbor over here. Is there enough space even? I don't think there's enough space. Blast Furnace on the way now for JorDan as well. Yeah. Good thing that we have an expert player in the chat to explain the decision making behind JorDan. This is certainly making a lot more sense right now. And Sebastian, well, is not looking quite as strong anymore. Military count simply not there. And army composition, unfortunately, simply not there for him either. He could try once again to go for it. And he's going for it. Actually, JorDan is going head on straight into the Cavalier. But yeah, this is... He was kind of trying to force the engagement, right? And Sebastian calls the GG as JorDan gets the engagement over there. It's going to be 1-0 in favor of the red player. Take a look at the achievements really quickly before going back. And what do we get? A close to 6 to 5 KD ratio for JorDan. We'll have for economy, a stronger economy for JorDan, collecting about 8,000 extra resources, more than 8,000 extra resources. And I imagine with a higher worker count. That was actually not the case. Sebastian managed to get ahead in worker count towards the end of the game, but JorDan did manage to get a higher worker count for the majority of the game, about 55 to 60% of the game. JorDan had a higher worker count, so that makes sense. Also the first player to get to both the castle and Imperial Age just by quite a bit. Economy was on a different level for JorDan, and Sebastian kind of struggled this game, so let's go back. There we are. Let's switch colors once again. Damn it. There we are. Khmer and Hans. This is a matchup that I have seen already on this map. And I believe I have seen it go both ways. I think I have seen it go in favor of the Hans and in favor of the Khmer over here. So I'm not convinced that there's going to be necessarily a better matchup over here, or there is going to result in a civ win. I think it's going to be mostly about the players. So we're going to take a look. So Sebastian's forward already with the scout. JorDan's trying to get the walls up over here. Might end up losing the villagers. Gotta be careful. The hill over there can be quite detrimental to JorDan's villager, of course, but Sebastian's going to bail. There's a spearman coming over as well, so yeah. On the other side, we're gonna have a pretty similar situation with the spearman for Sebastian to defend himself with, and there is the scout forward. Whilst taking a look at what military they're going for, there is an archer range for both players, and there is a stable on the way for JorDan in addition to that. I don't think... Oh, Sebastian's going for the second archer range, so yeah. If JorDan goes for scouts and archers, that's going to be so hard to stop. But it's going to be so expensive as well, fortunately. He does have a pretty strong economy civilization, but... yeah, it's not really going to kick off until he gets to a decent amount of farms anyway. So Sebastian is in an alright spot for the time being. We'll see how this goes. I don't know who to cheer for. Love Hans, but also love JorDan. We were talking about this matchup before yesterday, I think, and one of the things I was saying is Hans are a civilization that on a map like this might actually be able to get ahead if they end up going for water, because they do save a lot of wood by not having to build houses. Meanwhile, Khmer, well, they usually will end up saving some wood by not having the building requirements, which means he wouldn't need to go for a barracks before going for an archer range or a stable. The fact that players already begin with a barracks and Empire Wars means that it makes the bonus kind of go to waste in a sense. So there is no savings over here for JorDan at all, and that should allow Sebastian, and there we go, to go for water over here a lot more comfortably, and he's going to be the first player and the only player currently going for water. Here we go. Beautiful. There we go. He might actually end up getting another villager over here, or the first villager over here actually, the third villager over there, sorry. And JorDan calls it GG. Wow, that was really quick. That was a 5-minute GG from JorDan. And it makes sense, he got pushed away from the goal over here. He had already lost 2 villages and he was bound to lose the third villager over here while the other goal was so far away for him. It was not really practical for him to go and take it, but that was really strong from Sebastian. Really strong. Gotta keep in mind that he also was going for water as well, so he was invested in everything, and once again, the bonus over here for Hans is going to be just so much stronger. So, I'm not really sure if we should be going through the achievements. I think it's, you know, we'll still need to wait for the lobby and for the players to get ready, so let's just go through them. But we are going to see a very nice KD for Sebastian at the end, approaching 4-1 for economy, and let's give Sebastian the point over here. And then for economy, we see also a stronger economy for Sebastian, collecting about 400 extra resources. So yeah, JorDan called it. He was on the back foot for sure. But this game did not take too long. Yeah, check this out. Sebastian started pulling ahead in villager count towards the end because the village picks he got from JorDan. And getting water control over here meant that he was going to be the only player going for for fish and ships, he was going to start pulling ahead even further, and we talked about the civilizations a little bit before. Huns are pretty strong. On this map, on this game mode, let's go back. Let's go! Both humans and Berbers are actually pretty popular on this map. They're actually very, very close. Berbers are 9.1x, while humans are 8.2x compared to your base pick rate. So, we'll see. We'll see what we get. Once again, we're going to be switching Sebastian over to the blue color, and JorDan is going to have a few options. At the very beginning of the game, he can start going for military buildings, given that he's got a discount to those. He can go for more than one pretty easily, but he's not going for two, so he's just going to be the one archer range over here. He's just going to taste the waters. Meanwhile, he's mastered enough resources to potentially go for the second TC instead, which could be good. Oh, nice though! Sebastian's getting a pig down. Doesn't that getting or losing a lot of HP over here, mind you? Let's take a look at JorDan Scout. And JorDan Scout's full HP. Pig lame! JorDan, no pig. Well, he still has two pigs over here, but no third pig. Second archer range coming up, okay. Now it's personal. The plot thickens. JorDan's gonna start going for full aggression right now. He's not going to let that pig lane go unnoticed. He's also going for the second TC though, so it's not just going to be military. Meanwhile, Sebastian on the other hand, he's got the one archer range. He's been going for skirmishers. He's got the walls coming out right now with two villagers. And yeah, just one archer range. Just gonna try to play for defense over here. And to go up to the castle H ASAP, which against humans you kind of want to do. Get into the castle H, start to put pressure early in the castle H to prevent humans from getting too far ahead in economy, potentially get some villagers down. Let the pig be avenged, yeah. He's going to unleash his wrath on the pig hater. Doesn't deserve to live in this series anymore. Never mind. JorDan cannot do anything over here. JK is just going to go back. And Sebastian, well, he should be on his way to the castle H very soon. Probably would have liked for him to get the walls up towards the edge over here, so that he would be able to secure this wood line, right? And probably he could have done the same over here, so he would have been able to secure this wood line as well. That would have been really good. Not much price here, either. Yeah, about the same. Like, what is that? Like, 3 extra tiles he needs to cover. Market's on the way now for JorDan. He can go up to the castle H himself pretty soon as well. By the time he gets there, he should have gotten, at the very least, an 8 villager lead, I would say. Against Sebastian, probably like a 9 villager lead, most likely. Yeah. Sebastian Scout's gone down over there. Beautiful. Sebastian's going for bloodlines right now, second stable. And this I like, he's getting bloodlines before getting to the castle H, so he doesn't have to wait forever for queuing up the knights. On top of that, there is also scaled Parliament armor coming up a little bit earlier compared to the castle H. A gate's coming up now for Sebastian as well, so he's in an alright spot with Berbers getting a 15% discount on stable production in the castle H. This is a very significant power spike that Sebastian's getting, and we'll see if he can actually take advantage of it. So, he's gonna start producing from both for sure, and if he sticks to 1 TC, very soon he might be able to ramp that up to go for triple stable knight production, which would be a little bit of an issue for JorDan. Now, mind you, Kumans, they do get access to camels, so they will be able to counter that. Potentially even pikes or monks are going to be an option. Sebastian's out in a siege workshop. I absolutely love this. This is the way you go against humans. Full pressure early in the castle age. Beat them to the next stage. Go for siege. Go for military. Outproduce. As JorDan's been investing very heavily into economy for the most part this game, this is an opportunity for Sebastian. He's not ahead in military count yet. But yeah, with Berbers, might not take too long. Yo, Wonder Boy! How are you doing? Is everything going alright? Hope you're doing well. Long time no siege, mate. Oh, the stream title? Shit. Let's update this. Thank you. For the heads up. There we are. Appreciate it. Do you see the flags, by the way, or do you see just Oi and the? Because on my end, on OBS, the flags are not really showing, but I'm not really sure if it's working for you on Twitch. Flags? Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's nice. You don't see the flags on your end? Are you on phone? Are you on the app? I'm surviving. Work occupies a lot of time for me, but I have dropped in now and again. Just more wonder lurking. Got a bit of time today, so I figured I'd engage with it. Nice! It's always nice to see you back, Wonder Boy. I hope work's not too harsh on you. Almost buried in, might be an older Twitch or something. A laptop. Interesting. Are you watching on your computer, Cliffy? It's probably OS as well. I don't know if you have Windows 7 or 10 or 11 or Linux or Mac. But it's probably going to be also dependent on the, I guess maybe the OS or the browser. Regardless though, this is a very good defense for JorDan. He's going to end up taking both these wagons down. Yeah, with crosses and camels, he's able to defend successfully against Sebastian's push, so while I did like the approach from Sebastian over here, unfortunately he wasn't able to make it work. And taking a look at the south over here, Sebastian's only now going for the second TC, but JorDan's got a third TC coming up in the north. That's about it. Laptop for both of you. I guess it's probably either the browser or the OS. I'll probably just assume that both of you are using Chrome, since it's the de facto browser for the most part. Although Edge has been actually getting a lot of market share. Firefox. Okay. I'm using Chrome. Yeah, there we go. That's the culprit. Firefox superior confirmed. 100%. Fantastic. So JorDan's been able to hold on just fine. He's held to his villager lead. He's got 8 extra villagers. He's got a 50% stronger military count, a little bit higher than that actually. And Sebastian doesn't seem like he'll be able to catch up anytime soon, as long as JorDan's able to keep production from, at the very least, 2 TCs. He's going to keep the villager lead constant. If he can keep production from 3 TCs, then he's going to start pulling ahead in villager count once again. I'm old, but not so old to use Explorer. Explorer got retired. Got sent to the farm alongside Netscape and others. I'm a bit out of touch with the scene, but I would be right in guessing that JorDan is the heavy favorite. The favorite for sure. I'm not really sure how heavy. I guess probably if you saw this matchup come up in any other circumstance, you would probably say that, but Sebastian actually has been the surprise player in the qualifier for the second weekend. He swept Dogao yesterday, for instance, to get to the round of 8. Large engagement over here seems to be going in favor of JorDan for sure. He's going to end up getting all the knights down over here. The siege weapons going down, and Sebastian doesn't want to keep on going anymore. He knows he's playing catch up over here. If he can't take a good engagement over here and get ahead in military at the very least, then he's going to be behind the ball in military and economy, and he just cannot win from that position. So JorDan takes game number 3, and we are getting very, very short games over here. Let's take a look at the achievements before jumping into game number 4. It's a better than 3-2 KD ratio for JorDan. Meanwhile, for economy, we'll see a stronger economy for JorDan by quite a lot, collecting close to 3,000 extra resources, about 2,700 extra resources. For society, on the other hand, strong society stats for JorDan with more villagers throughout the game. Yeah, and that was not particularly close. I guess Sebastian is probably going to be one of the best players to try and take advantage of such a thing, as he's going to be one of the fastest players in the community. If he's able to keep up with his units and the extra range, then he's going to take advantage of it and he's going to be untouchable, but we'll see. Nice. What do we get for military production? What do you expect? Archer range for both players. Fletching is on the way already for Sebastian. He's gotten 1 archer out, he's going for fletching. Just got 1 archer, he's going for skirmishers, and very soon we'll see the second archer range come up for both players, but with fletching coming up a little bit sooner, actually significantly sooner for Sebastian, might be able to get a better trade over here, we'll see. There is nothing in the village that's going to make Sebastian's civilization any stronger. He's got, well, I guess technically he's got 25% faster working shepherds, but the archers are going to be just the same as any other civilization. So the extra range he's only going to start getting from the castle age onwards. So he's got to be really careful over here. This is about the time where JorDan has he's got the possibility of getting ahead himself. Well, archers are they. For the time being, yes. Of course, there is also the possibility of JorDan to go for Eagle Scouts, potentially Eagle Warriors in the castle age. And actually, he's gone for a second barracks. Wow. Interesting. So he's gonna make a play for Eagles. I'm not really sure about this. He's got the same range as Sebastian's archers, but he's paying 10% less for these, so he's saving resources. I guess the one thing that Sebastian's got going for him though is that as long as he's able to keep on production going, he should be in a better position because of 20% faster working archer ranges. So I am not against the Eagle Scouts necessarily. Yeah, but I wouldn't be expecting JorDan to be going quite as heavily into them. Plus, he's not really going for archers. He's just been going for skirmishers, which are going to take on the archers just fine, right? Sebastian's having some scouts into the mix right now, so it's going to be scouts and archers versus Eagle Scouts and skirmishers. And scouts and archers should be better on paper. But so far, the KD is... yeah, it's favoring Sebastian, actually. Anyway, I prefer the discount. I prefer the discount because you should be able to go for the second archer range faster. You should be able to produce significantly more. As well as Britons here are going to spend more resources to just maximize 1 archer range. And if you get 2 archer ranges, you're going to outproduce the Britons anyway if they are still on 1 archer range. But we see the second one coming out for Sebastian. This is coming in fairly late, of course, but it makes sense because he'd gone for the stable before. There we go. Yeah, beautiful. The game kind of stabilizes. Sebastian should be able to take care of the skirmisher over here. So JOADN's going to end up losing all the military units he had forward. He's got just spearmen and Eagle Scouts, right? So Sebastian is going to have some momentum coming forward. However, JorDan will be the first player to go up to the castle age by quite a bit. It's not particularly close. Sebastian? Yeah, he's got the extra archers coming out. Still from both archer ranges, so he keeps on going heavily into military units. And this could be good. It really depends on whether or not he's able to breach through. And he's coming in. The scouts are stepping on the foundation, so it's not possible for JorDan to close himself up. He could try still, though, to go for yet another foundation behind the houses over here. He's going for it. He's going for a little bit of a house wall over here. However, the foundations are very weak. And JorDan's getting pushed away from here, though, for the time being. He's holding on to this, but he's under a lot of pressure. Yeah, and the house still only 113 HP, so it's probably going down, and JorDan loses the first villager in the game as well. Trying to get the walls up over here, plus, with extra scouts coming over, the house is going to take extra damage, and here goes the foundation down the ground as he comes on. Sebastian is getting into JorDan's base. Already prompting a response from JorDan, who ends up pulling the villagers away from berries. There were only about 42 berries left over here, so it's not the worst loss for JorDan. He's making a play for a tower over here to defend himself. Once he gets to the castle edge, if he goes for Eagle Warrior, he should be able to clean this up. He needs Eagle Warrior, he needs chainmail armor as well. Fantastic. Extra barracks on the way, so we know JorDan's gearing out to go for full eagle production. As JorDan, on the other hand, will... Sebastian, sorry, on the other hand, is just gonna keep on going for more archers. On an archer versus archer matchup, the Britons are going to come out on top as long as you're able to take advantage of the extra range, as we already mentioned. However, with Eagle Warriors into the mix, that's going to make the full archer play significantly harder for Sebastian. So what do we see? We see him go for a second stable, scale Barden armor, and knight production from the get-go. He's got the crossman upgrade coming out right now. Makes sense given the archers he already has out. But knights are going to be absolutely instrumental, absolutely essential for Sebastian to stay competitive in this game, of course. If JorDan manages to get to triple barrack Eagle Warrior production without getting bottlenecked by economy or something, it should be a pretty nice position for him still, even if Sebastian starts going for knights. Because Eagle Warriors are so much cheaper and so they're so much easier to mass up. If you get to a good amount of units, you can start splitting that army up into multiple groups, start putting pressure from multiple sides, and if you're ever able to breach through one of the sides already, that's going to make it so much harder for your opponent to defend themselves. So JorDan, you can see he's sticking to 1 TC, full production. He's going for the 4th barracks, as a matter of fact, and Sebastian is on 1 TC himself, but he has managed to get a respectable villager lead. JorDan's getting a lot of idle TC time over here, which is kind of unfortunate for him, and not really something you'd be expecting to see from JorDan, I guess.
Ready. Yay.
Shut it.
There you are. He's starting to go for it. The groups are not very threatening, mind you. He's got only 5 up in the north and 1 down the south. Actually, he might be able to breach through over here. We'll see. I'm not really sure Sebastian has realized about this. The Eagle Warriors actually might come in. Yeah, you know? If Sebastian has not reacted to this so far, he's probably not going to react to this at all. So here come the Eagle Warriors. They're coming in right away. On the other side, Sebastian is putting pressure with the crossbows and he's bringing knights into the mix as well. Meanwhile, JorDan's been going for Eagle Warriors a lot more heavily, but he's got most of those back home to try and defend against the knights. However, the Eagle Warriors that managed to come in straight into Sebastian's base already been able to get some villagers down over here and push the crosses away.
Yay.
So this is already very good for him, and even though the ILTC time is still higher for JorDan, he managed to get a bunch of these villagers down and catch up a little bit in villager count.
Grayton.
Kind of forces some of the knights from Sebastian to stay back home for defenses. Yeah, that's good. Hey, Click Search! Thank you so much for the resub. 5-month streak as well. On time no siege, Mr. Nova? Yeah. Yeah. I've only been streaming for the last 2 weeks or so. Or week and a half or something. Spent the 2 weeks after the RMS Cup to dying. Basically in bed, sick for 2 weeks. Oh boy, that was awful. That was awful. I felt so bad. Like, even if I kind of felt cured after the 2 weeks, my body, man, just being 2 weeks in bed, it was so rough. I was so weak afterwards and whatnot. And right now I've managed to kind of recover for the most part, but yeah, that was not fun. Anyway, things are better now, so let's keep on going over here. Sebastian's military count significantly higher compared to JorDan. JorDan's military production significantly lower compared to what it should be at this point. Sebastian's got the crossbows, putting pressure in preventing JorDan from collecting the gold over here. The red player doesn't really have access to any extra gold, so he's trying to make a play for the south one. But he's already on the back foot, so he calls it GG, and Sebastian has been consistently winning games on the home maps that he's been using. So it's going to be 2-2. As JorDan's not able to keep on going anymore, the score lead was quite substantial. The population was much higher for Sebastian, both for military and for economy. JorDan calls it, and for the achievement, sorry, we see a better than 4 to 3 KD ratio for Sebastian. For the economy, we have a stronger economy for Sebastian as well, collecting about 1,000 extra resources compared to JorDan, and he was in a much better position in terms of gold income, of course. The village account was higher for him, so it was just going to get significantly harder and harder for JorDan to keep on going over here. So Britons, and this is, I think, I think every time that I have seen Britons versus Mayans, or most of the times that I have seen Britons versus Mayans, Britons have come out on top on this map. Well played, well played. Not to take anything away from Sebastian, he played really well, but the matchup's usually gone in favor of Britons for this one, on this map anyway. Taking a look at the civilizations, by the way, Byzantines and Italians on this map should be pretty popular. And as a matter of fact, on Northern Isles, Byzantines and Italians are both the top civilizations for this map, or at the very least the two most popular civilizations utilized on this map. Byzantines are a little bit more popular even compared to Italians, but yeah. Let's check. Yeah, good reaction from JorDan. Would be a banger to see Sebastian succeeding over Jordi, but still my hopes are on JorDan. Yeah, you know, it'll be great. Sebastian, I don't think this will be the most important victory for Sebastian if he was able to take this. I don't think he's ever gotten this far in any tournament like this, because if he moves on, right, and if he earns a spot in Heidelberg, that's going to be top 16 for Red Bull Wololo Legacy for Sebastian. Like, no matter what happens in the main event, that he will be one of 16 players getting into the thing, and I don't think he's ever gotten that far into anything. Somebody will have to take a look at the Wikipedia page for Sebastian to actually corroborate that, but I think it's actually the case. On the left hand side, Sebastian's got scouts and archers coming over. He did go for the archer range. He's got another archer coming out, and JorDan's going to get pushed away by the archer. Meanwhile, JorDan's got his own archers coming out. but he's not transported these yet. Some defensive archers for JorDan over here. Should be enough for him to defend against Sebastian. He's got 3 right now versus only 2 forward archers for Sebastian. So unless the Bull player is able to transport a few extra units forward, and he's going for it. He's going for 2 additional archers. He wouldn't be able to take the engagement. Now with 4, it's going to be a little bit better. And JorDan's only now getting the 4th archer out. He's been just saving the resources to go out to the castle age. Here he comes. Yes, sir. Trying to put pressure. Might be able to get a villager down. He's pushing the villager away. Foundation comes up. Yeah, and Sebastian cannot do any damage here. Sebastian plays 4 to 8 on T90's Golden League. Was the highest achievement in A tier. A tier? Wasn't the Golden League S tier? But oh, Gold League. The Gold League, right. The Gold League was like the... It was not the main thing, right? The main thing was like Platinum or something. 4 to 8 on T90's Golden League. Alright. Yeah, that's good. So Sebastian's definitely been getting better in the last couple months or something, but this would be on a whole different level, of course, if he was able to get away with this. So we'll see. Well, players are going up to the castle age. 1 village has gone down over here for JorDan. That's been the first villager pick. And Jones got some fire galleys moving forward. We'll see if Sebastian realizes about this. Got only 1 fire galley to defend himself with, but he does have the defense advantage, so if he brings a villager over, might be able to... Nah, never mind, it's too far away. So the fire galley is going down over there, and Sebastian's gonna try to go for yet another fire. He cannot really defend himself too well against JorDan because of the Byzantine bonus, which makes fire line units stack 25% faster. Right, yeah, Platinum was the S tier. True. But imagine going from your largest achievement being a top 8 for an A tier tournament to qualifying as one of 16 players in the largest Age of Empires 2 tournament in history. Sebastian will need to grind Empire Wars so hard from now until then. And I gotta be honest, Sebastian definitely has it in him to perform well against anybody in the world. Let me show you something. Check this out. Check that APM. I have not seen players go anywhere near as high as Sebastian consistently ever. Like this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I think Sebastian might be the fastest player in the community. If he can change that so that the APM is actually effective as opposed to just having speed but not effect, kind of like the early days of Hera, who was also a very fast player but was not very effective on the actions per minute that he actually... Like, he was very fast, but he just kept on spamming the same commands and he was not very effective. If Sebastian can maximize the efficacy of his APM, he's got the potential to beat anyone, actually. It'll be a huge achievement, even if he got dumped out of the round of 16. That's probably his biggest prize pool too. Yeah, for sure. In my opinion, Dania qualified. That's already a banger. Yeah, as well, for sure. Dania couldn't believe it himself. He said it in the interview that he didn't think he could pull it off, and he did it. So if Sebastian was able to... Oh! Walking over there much? Moontrotting? Anyway, if Sebastian could make it into the main event, that'd be absolutely huge. JorDan, I think JorDan participated already in the 5th edition of Red Bull Wololo, right? In Enthroned. So he already had the line experience, if I'm not mistaken. So this would be very good for Sebastian. It would be very sad for anybody rooting for JorDan, but obviously it would be an absolute ridiculous good thing for anybody rooting for Sebastian. Regardless though, it's really good. JorDan might be able to get some villagers down over here. The villager count is a little bit higher right now for JorDan. Actually significantly higher with 14 extra workers. And some of that's going to be fishing ships, but a lot of that's also going to be just extra villagers, as he was the first player to get to the second TC, and Sebastian sticking to 1 TC only. This is, once again, the case that JorDan's winning his home maps, Sebastian's winning his home map. Sebastian will try to make a play for the Imperial Age though, by the looks of his resources. He needs to go for the buildings though. And JorDan, on the other hand, seems like he's just gonna try and play for economy over here a little bit. This could be really good for Sebastian once he gets to the Imperial Age and gets access to Arbalisters and potentially even bombard cannons. If he goes forward, potentially even fast fire ships. Fast fire ships can be really strong against any Castle Age units, right? So fast fire ships are absolutely a game changer. But Sebastian can get there, he can get... Did he forget about the bonus? No. He just took a little bit longer to get the buildings up. But if he can get to the Imperial Age and go for fast fire ship, that will already leave him in a much better position compared to JorDan. Might be able to get water control. And with water control, he will be able to get control of the center as well. He'll be able to go for anything he wanted to. Condottieri, he could land, try to go for pressure, he could go for arbalesters, bombard cannons. Whatever he wants. 17,000 viewers. This is really good. For a qualifier is insane. And last Sunday, there was a viewership peak of 20,000, I think. Which is not bad at all, guys. We had like 25,000, I think, for the Aramis Cup 2 final. So getting north of 20,000 viewers for just a qualifier of an event is actually pretty strong. So I wonder what the main event is going to be like. My prediction is probably going to be 50 to 55k peak viewership. Which for non-pandemic numbers is actually pretty decent. Not 17k, 169.69 true. Very keen eye, see deep. Alright, I like this from Sebastian, but JorDan spotting already the villagers, so Sebastian is forced into quick walls over here. Should be able to get away with it. The quick wall is also going to serve as a choke point for the crossbow, so it's pretty good. Imp no food. Yeah, it seems like it's going to be a full crossman and bombard cannon push over here for Sebastian. No condottieri, no castles, no fast fire ships. Yeah, just bombard cannons and Arbalister. So he's going for the Arbalister and Bracer upgrades. He doesn't really have the resource to go for chemistry though, unfortunately, so you wouldn't be able to go for bombard cannons for the time. And I guess he could try and make a play for Rams or Magnus. I don't think that's going to be too good. Now he's going for chemistry. He had to utilize the market in order to buy enough food to go for chemistry. But he's going for it. And there we go. For the time being, we're gonna see a Magna come up. But very soon, that's going to be bombard cannons instead. I am still liking JorDan's position by quite a lot. He should be on his way to the Imperial Age very soon, and with all the towers coming up over here, he's not going to put a stop to the bombard cannon push, but he'll delay it enough that he's not going to take too much damage before he gets to the Imperial Age, which means that he should be able to hold on to his stronger economy for the most part. He should have enough time to go for whatever upgrades he wants to go for in the Imperial Age. He could make a play for zone arbalesters. He could make a play for skirmishers for cheaper. The options for JorDan in the Imperial Age are going to open up quite a bit, and he'll be able to go for whatever he wants. Sebastian, on the other hand, well, he's only now getting chemistry. He cancelled the Manonel. He was waiting for chemistry, and now he's going for bombard cannons. So he's got 2 queued up. Ideally, he would be able to go for Archer Ranges 4, so he does not need to rely on the transport ship to get the units to the other side. As a matter of fact, he doesn't really have any transport ships right now, so going for extra arbalesters from his side of the map, from his island, doesn't really seem the best play because he cannot get the units to the other side. How does the chicken get to the other island? How do the arbalesters get to the other island? Well, they can't. Both civilizations have full water tech trees. I think so. I think there is no shipwright for Italians. Let me check. Actually, no. I'm thinking of a different civilization. I'm thinking of Vikings. We don't have heavy demolition ships for Italians. They don't get heavy demolition ships. In Byzantines, on the other hand, yeah, Byzantines they do get the full dock. Arbalesters like chicken flew a short distance. He's got a transport ship though. He's coming in. No careening over here, so he's gotta be careful. He's only transporting 5 units at a time, and there he goes, there he goes. He's got the arbalesters over there. He's got a villager over there as well, and come on, Sebastian. He's just going to drop the units. Yeah. He's waiting. He's got fire ships over here. Now he might actually be able to transport still, but he's got to be careful. In any case, the bombard cannons are doing good damage. Taking the towers down, taking the TC down over here. Still, that was not the best for Sebastian though. So for as fast as the blue player can be, he's going to struggle sometimes with unit control as well. Not going to be paying attention to the right section of the map, right? So he ends up losing a bunch of arbalesters over here. When you are this far behind, as Sebastian is, losing these arbalesters is really, really bad. It's going to hurt so much. And unfortunately for him, given the fact that he doesn't really have a strong economy to play with, he cannot really go for archer ranges over here to produce arbalesters from JorDan's island without halting arbalester production on the back already, right? So it's pretty rough. Honestly though, given the amount of resources he spent going for the dock and going for 2 transport ships, it probably would have been better for him to just go for the archer ranges over here instead. But we'll see. Just trying to flank the units, bringing trebuchets, what's trebuchets? Bringing skirmishers from behind, oh my god, bringing skirmishers from forward. Meanwhile, Sebastian doesn't seem like he'll be able to do too much over here. Well, just as I say that, the skirmishers get completely cleaned up. Oh boy. Uruguay! Yes. Beautiful. Yeah, pretty good attack rounds over here from Sebastian. The thing though is, he's kind of getting delayed by 3 skirmishers, while JorDan is so far ahead. He's getting arbalesters now, going for fast fire ships. Yeah, fast fire ships will completely dominate water over here, and Sebastian won't be able to keep on transporting anymore. And without archer ranges forward, then he won't be able to keep on adding arbalesters into the mix. So this is basically what Sebastian's got to work with. Period. Well, he's manages to transport a few extra units, but he's not paying attention over here. I think this is just going to be GG very soon. Sebastian doesn't seem to be controlling the units too much anymore, with the transport ship going down over there, and even the arbalesters over here taking so much damage. He goes down in military count significantly, and JorDan, he's not going to struggle to defend at all. Stream title, it should be updated. What does the stream title say on year end? Dan the Man's Great. It should be updated now. Is it outdated for anybody else? I'm just going to hit the update button once again. Hopefully it works now. Okay, thank you. Turnip. Let me know if it's updated for you as well now. Yeah, the man's great. I tried to update it again. There we go. Nice. Good bombard cannon shots. To be fair, JorDan's been losing a lot of units. KD's better for Sebastian. But it's only a matter of time. Given JorDan's much stronger position, it's only a matter of time until he's able to suppress these units. Plus, transport ship gets taken down over here. Once again, with JorDan's fast fire ships being so much stronger compared to anything that Sebastian's got available to himself right now. It's not really possible for Sebastian to keep on going for transport ships. Yeah, even the arbalists are going down now to fast fire ships. These are freaking tanks. In the end, the fire ship goes down, but boy, that was a lot of damage, and he's going for more as well. So those arbalists are getting cleaned up. Over here, the arbalists got cleaned up as well. Sebastian calls a GG, and JorDan takes game number 5. This has been the case that JorDan wins all his home maps, and Sebastian wins all his home maps. The problem with this, though, if it keeps on going like that, at the very least the problem for Sebastian, that is that because JorDan won game number 1, game number 6 actually is going to take place on Sebastian's final home map, and then he's going to have to clutch it up on JorDan's home map in game number 7, so he needs to get 2 wins back to back over here. Nice KD for Sebastian, getting a little bit above 4-3. For the economy, we have a stronger economy for JorDan as well, collecting about 13,000 extra resources, with well over 50% of extra resources collected compared to Sebastian. We take a look at this, and it's, yeah, incredible. All for society. A much higher work account as well for JorDan, surprising no one. Let's go back and wait for game number 6. I will cross the civilizations really quickly and go to the bathroom, though, so let's switch the player colors once again. When I'm in 15 minutes of time limit, let's switch Sebastian over to the blue color. And damn, dude! More gifted subs? Come on, man. Thank you so much. The support's great. Thank you so much, Dan. 5 gifted subs coming in. Limatador. Sean on AE, Leo Kale, Gingerbeard, and Shikaba. Welcome, you guys. Welcome to the club, and thank you so much, Dan. That's going to be 27 gifted subs over here. Coming in hot. It's very much appreciated. And big gift drop. Yes. Absolutely. Man, this is going to be a very interesting map. Because the players are starting so close to each other, it lends itself to aggression. However, it's also been the case that oftentimes players just end up going for the walls towards the edge of the map. So right now, for instance, JorDan's just going to play for economy. He's going to try and play for the castle age and then probably just try and chop through and get to the extra resources. Meanwhile, Sebastian, on the other hand, he's starting to go for the walls right now. He did try to put a little bit of pressure, but wasn't able to do too much, so now it's just going to be ball players just making a play for the castle age. It's always nice to pop by, though, and I am pretty hyped for Red Bull Wololo. I'm so hyped for Red Bull. Actually, I dreamed of Age of Empires today. I dreamt that they were drafting on the table with all the little civilization badge cutouts thingies that they had for Enthroned. Yeah, I don't remember who the players were, though. Will we be covering a part of Red Bull Wololo main? I don't think so, unless there is like a second channel that they are inviting casters to and I get an invitation for that. For some of the sets. Because I don't think they can cover everything. I don't think so, because at the very least for the LAN version, for Red Bull Wololo 5, right? I think they had, first off, exclusive streaming for English channels, so nobody could actually stream the games even if you wanted to. Not without getting frowned upon, of course. And yeah, I mean, who would want to watch on any other channel given the production value that they have for the LAN events? But I don't know. We'll see. I would definitely love that, though, to participate. in some way, shape, or form. But we'll have to wait to see what the actual system will be. We're probably going to learn more as we get closer to the main event. I was saying earlier that I feel a bit out of touch with AOA2. Now I have no idea what Sebastian was. Well, Sebastian's not really been the most popular player, to be fair, unless you've just been watching Age of Empires a lot. Because he's not really made it too far in the past into any major tournaments. We are actually talking about that, right? His greatest achievement so far has been finishing top 8 in an A-tier tournament with T90's Titan League. The Gold League, which was like the second division. So yeah. The exclusive streaming thing, the exclusive streaming is a thing. Forget about that. Yeah. Yeah. Nice, village goes down from JorDan. So he's unable to keep the gate up over here. He does have some archers though, trying to prevent Sebastian from chopping through. And he's also going to be the first player to get to the castle. So this is kind of awkward. Sebastian hasn't really taken advantage of Bulgarians just yet. There are a few things that they get. First out, the free militia line upgrades means that he could potentially have made a play for men at arms earlier, but he decided not to go for it now. He's going to the castle age, but without being able to chop through, he wouldn't be able to go for... He wouldn't be able to go for the stone that he's going to need in order to go for crepos, and without using crepos, without using the free upgrades, he's not really going to be utilizing or maximizing his civilization potential. So it's looking kind of rough for Sebastian over here, and this might actually break the pattern. I think JorDan is in a pretty decent position over here to take game number 6 and yeah, potentially earn a spot in Bull Wololo Legacy. We'll see. JorDan's good, but JorDan can't throw. Are you rooting for JorDan or are you rooting for Sebastian? Now I'm confused. I don't remember who was rooting for whom, to be fair, but yeah, Sebastian is here. He's got some archers. However, with the castle age being here already for JorDan, it's yeah, the archers are not going to do too much. Plus, there is a scorpion coming out. Did Sebastian chop through already? Man, he's farther from chopping through compared to JorDan. This is really bad. No predictions? Well, not right now. We could have no predictions for game number, actually, game number 7 or the third set. But nobody's been asking for it, and I don't think we had too many people watching, so I thought the predictions were not really going to be used too much. But we can enable them for the next game. Whether that's the same series or a different one, of course, it's really going to depend on how this one goes. Stage here for Sebastian. Stable. Second stable for him as well, so we're gonna see knights. Well, JorDan's playing Hindustanis. He's got 25% faster attacking camels. Going for knights against Hindustanis camels is kind of suicidal. He's got to go for something else, but I don't see him going for anything else. I mean, he's got the pikeman upgrade coming up, but he's got just 6 pikemen. Plus, JorDan's got some crossbows himself. We'll see. There you go. Nice. This is really good pressure from JorDan. He's preventing Sebastian from getting to the other side. He's preventing him from getting access to the sweet, sweet stone that Bulgarians so badly need. And JOADN currently is going to be the only player with access to water still. As on the left-hand side, Sebastian hasn't really taken advantage of this whatsoever. And then up in the north, we have an extra TC for JOADN, plus this one down the south. JOADN's on 3 TCs, and Sebastian's just on 1, so... This doesn't seem to be the best map for a decider game, or for a match point, I guess. Because it's usually kind of like this. It's kind of anticlimactic endings from what we have seen between yesterday and today. But everything seems to point out a JOADN taking this one and getting a final score of 4-2. So I'm really sure what Sebastian will be able to do. Actually, he's getting housed right now, and he's struggling. He's not even playing at his standard speed of 150 plus APM. But there we go. Finally, Sebastian is able to chop through. A little bit of miscontrol over here from JOADN. Doesn't end up losing the mantle over there. And here comes Sebastian with knights. Pikemen. And JOADN, well, JOADN's got crossbows and camels. Should be able to take on the pikemen over there. He doesn't really have all the crosses here, though. He's going for a few more. And if he does end up taking the engagement over here underneath the TC, Sebastian will end up taking a very poor trade over there anyway, so Sebastian's got to be careful. JorDan at this point in time has not really gone for ballistics. He hadn't really invested too heavily into archers, so it makes sense. But now that we have all the pikemen over here, it might actually be worth going into, and we're going to take a look to see if he's got a university. And actually he doesn't. So he couldn't go for ballistics even if he wanted to. Sebastian, on the other hand, he's got a higher military count and a higher military value compared to JorDan, but he's unable to make use of it too much. Plus, with the castle coming out, this basically puts a stop to whatever pressure Sebastian was hoping to put in the castle age. So he's just gonna need to, he's gonna kind of need to go up to the Imperial Age in order to take the castle down, or go for a bunch of rams, which I don't think will work against the camels. So Sebastian is in a little bit of a pickle. He cannot push down south because of the castle anymore, so he can just try and make a push up in the north. However, we have stone walls already for JorDan. And then up in the north, yeah, Sebastian's trying to go after the TC over here, which I like a little bit better. This TC is significantly more exposed compared to the one in the middle over here. And if JorDan ends up losing the TC over here, there's going to be how many villagers over here? 20 villagers exposed, right? So this might be enough for Sebastian to catch up for the most part in villager count. Unfortunately for him though, JorDan's been getting a lot of extra resources so far. A lot! Yeah, close to 1 hour extra gather economy time. That's going to result in over 1,000 extra resources for the most part, so yeah. There we go. Hey, Bailo, I think I saw that on Google News. I think I saw the headline saying something like Finland's Prime Minister raises an important question. Are politicians allowed to party or something? No. Are public figures... Was it public figures? No, it's not public figures. It was either are politicians allowed to party? Or... what was the... I don't remember that. I think that the title might have said... public leaders? I don't know. Yeah, I remember. I saw the headline, but I thought it was a silly headline because anybody should be allowed to party. You have your work life, and you have your normal life. Nobody's expected to work 16 hours a day. That wouldn't be productive. Anyway. Crepo's coming up now for Sebastian. It's getting denied now. Yeah. Oh man, with the Crepos getting denied over here. Plus the castle already up from JorDan up in the north. It's impossible for Sebastian to push up in the north and to push down the south. So he's trying to make a play for the center TC. This is the final frontier. Sebastian is going after this is in hopes of doing any damage. But JorDan's been collecting stone as well. He could potentially use the market actually to get a Was that a trade card? He could use the market to try and get another castle up over here. And if he gets a third castle up over here, Sebastian pushes. Like, Sebastian wouldn't be able to push at all. Plus, while the Bull player is trying to put pressure through the center over here, we're gonna see JorDan go for the counter push on the back. And Sebastian's now realizing about this, so these camels will end up taking a bunch of villagers down. 25% faster attacking for Hindustanis as well. So they are not a unit to sneeze at. You definitely want to respect this. Yeah. Sebastian called the GG, says well played. As JorDan takes game number 6, it's going to be a final score of 4-2. And to be fair, many of the games over here were very short. So yeah, this was not a particularly long series. We're going to jump into the third set in a moment. And we are going to enable predictions for the third set. But let's go back really quickly. After taking a look at the achievements, close to 7-4 KD ratio in favor of JorDan, a stronger economy as well, collecting 5,000 extra resources and a much higher villager count. JorDan played really well. Let's go back and see if we can get a glimpse of the interview. All right, I'm at the channel already. I'm just waiting for JorDan and Lily to join the channel as well. Trade the ultimate flex. Yeah, I can work 16 minutes a day. That sounds about right. Big sad to not get the underdog story. Oh man, I would have loved if Sebastian made it.
Jordy boy.
Oh.
Oh, congratulations, my man. This has to be good for you. You really felt the pressure, right?
Yeah, playing the qualifiers is the worst thing. It's so tough. The players have improved so much, and yeah, if you do 1-2 mistakes, you're out. It's crazy. Very relieved now.
Yeah, I can understand that. Maybe we go back to the start of the story. Last weekend's qualifier, you were already really motivated, and then surprisingly out in the round of 64. How was it for you, and how did you try to deal with that?
Yeah, that was a big surprise. I think I didn't play as good as I could, and Ganji completely wrecked me there, playing beautifully. And yeah, I just didn't know what to expect from him. But yeah, he's a very aggressive player, and that caught me off guard. And then yeah, he kicked me out very easily, so to say. And I was extremely disappointed, obviously, because I had high ambitions. And then I obviously, after one day, I was like, okay, I have to qualify now for this weekend. And I 100% fully focused, not doing anything except playing Age of Empires, and also preparing myself mentally, practicing a lot, and yeah, it worked out.
Okay, nice. And then you saw the bracket and probably expected something like facing Dogao, and then suddenly you come up against Sebastian. How big of a surprise was that, and did you adjust anything?
I was extremely surprised because obviously, as you mentioned, Dogao was the person I was expecting to face if everything goes well on my side. And then Sebastian just completely wrecked him 3-0. And I was like, wow, what's going on here? Because I have never played Sebastian myself. I know that he has been extremely good recently, especially. And he's improving more and more. So I knew it's definitely a person to watch out for. But yeah, him beating Dogao 3-0, it's great for him, obviously. And I made adjustments, obviously. I had to analyze Sebastian. I have never seen him play before, so...
what were your takeaways? That's interesting.
That he's an extremely aggressive player. Kind of similar to Ganji to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. And yeah, therefore I had to adjust, obviously. Like, for example, the Frigid Lake game. He completely wrecked me there, right? It's really, really tough against him.
Okay, and then we went into Arabia as game 1. And it was students against Franks, a matchup that we don't see too often, but it felt like you were playing it very defensively with the tower, later archer range. How confident did you feel going into the late game?
Students is better than Franks, in my opinion, in late game. So I knew I just had to survive and drag the game on until I have a good economy for the later stages. And I think I was successful in doing that, but then his forward castle came. I was like, oh no. That was good timing for him because I needed around 30 seconds more to get really production going, and then he would not have been able to do so. So that was really, really risky. And yeah, in the past, I would have taken the fights then with my knights. I would have lost, and then I would have lost the game. But I said, okay, I cannot prevent the castle from going up. I have to go back and just play it a bit differently. But Teutons, I think, is just a good civ against Franks.
Yeah, probably. Then we go into, I think, was it Frigid Lake to begin with? I think so, right? And you basically analyzed, okay, I had unfortunate loss against Ganji there on Frigid Lake. Now I know that I play against a similar player. What was your game plan going into Frigid Lake?
Well, with Chimera, obviously, you have a bit of a stronger opening because of the economy. So I was not too scared there. With the Byzantines game against Ganji, I was playing extremely defensive, and he caught me off guard completely. So I was like, okay, I'm Chimera, I'm fine. And after 1 minute into game, I was like, I'm not fine anymore. That was the fastest Frigid Lake game I've played so far, I think.
Okay, yeah, that indeed was a fast one. You got overwhelmed there. Felt like the scout maybe a bit out of position.
Exactly, yeah. They lost me the game there.
We got into another win for you, Outcrop, with Cumans, double archer range. Like, Hera and I were scratching our heads. Like, how do you try to play against Cumans if your opponent was doing the same to you?
You're saying, okay, I think what he was doing is the right approach. To completely all in, go Castle Age as soon as possible, and then Siege Monk pressure. But yeah, I was able to defend that because I scouted the market and I scouted the stable obviously as well. And then I was like, okay, it's an all in is coming, right? So I just had to play defensively and just wait until he attacks and just gather the army I need to defend.
Yeah, and you did that. Were you at any point concerned that you would lack gold control?
Yes, for sure. That's why I had to expand to the top, and I was able to do so. And once I got the TC up, I was completely fine. And I always kept track of his knights, so I knew that he's not going to go to the top. So I was safe there. He had a knight there, very smartly placed, very good by him. But he was not able to deny the TC. And once I had the third TC up, I was like, okay, this is a 100% winning position now for me.
Northern Isles game was a pretty wild one. How did you read the game, and were you surprised at all by his imp timing?
I was, obviously surprised, but seeing that imp timing, I was like, okay, this must be 1 TC, 100%. And I thought he would go water, and him going for land kind of surprised me. And it was dicey. It was very dicey because he has done a great job with the bomber cannon micro, and my skirms and arbalests, they didn't really cut it too well. But I guess overall I just won because of the superior economy.
Nice. Okay, going to play the $200,000 tournament. What are you most looking forward to?
Just for me personally, being in Heidelberg last year was by far the best experience I've ever had in terms of Age of Empires 2 related. And having that experience once more is going to be so good. I'm really looking forward to meeting all the players again. A few new faces are going to be there as well. And it's just, I know that Red Bull is going to do an amazing job with the organization, just like last year. And yeah, that's just the environment.
Thank you so much, and I think you will be a great addition for the main event. What's your goal?
Top 8.
Okay. Question from Nova. Does JorDan feel he's playing the best he's ever played? Also, any words for his opponent? Sebastian has been a revelation this weekend, like Ganji last one.
I think right now I'm not playing the best I've ever played. I think there are certain things which are missing, which I had in the past, so I have to work on that. And Sebastian, just a phenomenal player, very aggressive and very calculated, very good micro. So overall, a very well-rounded player. I think it doesn't take too much time for him anymore if he grinds on to get the top 10 spots for sure in the future tournaments.
That high. Sick.
And gotta say, like, you can always feel how players are acting, and from what we have interacted so far, it feels like he's an extremely sympathetic guy. So very, very nice.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Question from Dranta. Like, you had so much pressure on you, like not qualifying last weekend, going into this one, now you're in the final. How was your mental state after it was even at 2-2?
Well, I don't know. Like, I didn't feel any pressure or in that regard, because I was like, okay, I just have to play my game, and then I'm going to be happy. It's just more the qualifiers themselves. They put so much stress to somebody, right? It's just very tough because there's so many good players still who haven't qualified yet. And you know exactly, if something goes wrong in a best of 3, for example, it's just you're out. So that's very, very tough. And yeah, just being 2-2, I was like, okay, if I win Northern Islands, I should be fine.
Interesting. Jordi, GG, well played. See you in Heidelberg.
Thank you so much.